Hey everybody, and welcome back to KF&JF podcast. Man, I tell you guys, thank you guys so much for everything you do to bring us up in the ratings. We really appreciate everything and all the people that are out there that supporting us. We really do thank you. Today we got somebody on our show, a young entrepreneur that's out there striving and driving her business to success, and we're so happy to have her on the show today. But first, we're going to lead off into our co host and let him introduce himself.
Greetings. My name is Razak. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My purpose is to help small businesses grow. This means I will assist with the creative process and maintenance of your business. The method to achieve results is simply building a deeper relationship with your customers. I do this by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. By using a wide range of networking tools, we will have an understanding for building your business profile, what type of social media marketing fits your productivity and your availability, and building your financial profile, branding your services, product, or merchandise. Together, we may also determine what type of license is needed to operate your business. And does your budget permit the ownership of your own domain or buying into pre existing sites that host your page? I like to drive traffic by managing your website. This allows me to work with you to select posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. I also assist by generating comments on other individual business sites or a page that create a dialogue of conversation directed towards your page. I also assist with the creation of the content on your media site. This will be a collaboration of ideas which will reflect on your brand, your work ethics, and the community's need to know what you have to offer them to bring a better quality of comfort to their lives and lifestyle. I can also assist with the writing of content, directing your videos, the editing process, and publishing them on various sites for marketing purposes, advertising, and promotional value.
Well, like we say all the time, we like to thank Razak for all of the work he's doing out there to help small business succeed. We like to make sure that you guys look him up, United Minority Business Venture, and make sure you go to his website and check him out and just see the things that he can do to help your business succeed. So we really do appreciate that and say thanks to him for all that he's doing. But enough of the formalities. We're here to introduce this beautiful young entrepreneur, and here she is.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren, or Unique as most would call me, and I'm just here to tell you guys about me essentially and my whole business and the history behind it. So I hope you guys come and tune in with us.
Well, I thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate everything that you're doing out there. But let's talk about your business. And just, if you can, how did you come up with the name? How did you, kind of get yourself around being a young entrepreneur? Talk about that.
All right, well, one, thank you for having me. I forgot to say that. But how I started Unicorn Bakery was just, you know, it's at 10 years old, a little bit of history. I started out baking in the kitchen with my grandma and my dad because, at a certain age, you're not allowed in the kitchen because, the professionals are in there working on whatever they're working on. So, yeah, once I hit 10, I was able to come and help into the kitchen and, just do like flour or mixing or, you know, these like small little things to help out here and there. And eventually I, started going to culinary classes. And then in high school, I was in one of my regular culinary classes, and then I went to the advanced course, and then I also got my CTE award at the end of the year, and then I also got another award in my senior year as well. So I was really happy about that because that was able to lead me to college, where I was able to get another award and and a grant and a scholarship to be able to go to Johnson and Wales University in Denver. So I was really happy about that. And how yeah, the name, I love unicorns. Like point blank period. I love unicorns. I love rainbows. If you can't tell, oh sorry. If you can't tell, the hair is incorporated in everything, you know? So I always gotta put that forward because everybody thinks that magic isn't real, but it is. It's all around us. But you just have to open your eyes to be able to see it. And I like to think my eyes are just a little bit open. Um, so yeah, that's just a little bit about me and some of the history, how unicorn bakery.
Well, that sounds exciting. To know that you were trying to hang around in the kitchen at 10 years old, because most kids that hang around in the kitchen at 10 years old, when people are, especially baking sweets, they lick in the bowl with all the eggs, the raw eggs, and all the stuff in there. We're trying to get the spoon and do all of
Nice.
that.
My dad wouldn't allow that.
Tell me a little bit
He
about
was on me. He was like, use your finger or get a spoon. Don't lick my beater. So like he remained professional while he was in the kitchen because he was cooking for other people on occasion, but majority of the time it was like he was just like playing around in the kitchen, testing out products, seeing what he wanted to do, what he needed to do. So it was just that type of thing. It was like a for a little while it was like our bonding. And then eventually, I grew up and started doing my own thing, but he's still a professional chef, but he's more French cuisine, hot food, and I'm just, baking and pastry because I can't do the breaking down animals and hear the breaking bones and seeing the flesh cut. I can't do it. So I'm gonna just stay with my pastries. I'm gonna stay with my baked goods. I think I'll be happy there.
I know that's got to be, especially if you're not used to that, man. You got to get used to breaking down that flesh and cooking it and all that stuff. Okay, well, I don't want to get you all turned out of socket, but that's some good food. I know you eat it. If you eat
Yeah,
the vegetarian or
yeah,
you're vegetarian,
really good. Yeah.
They cooking the animals fresh. I mean, they killing them fresh.
Well, depending on where you're at. If you're in Mississippi with the regular family where my dad is from, yes, they'll go out to the backyard to the farm. They'll go grab the chicken by the neck and they'll go, and kill it. And take off all his feathers, take all the stuff inside of it, and go ahead and cook it. On the other side, I think they'll just go and get it from the store. Just skip all that other part. City folk.
Man,
wow, that's crazy. That's crazy because it's kind of reminded me of my wife. She wasn't country folks, but I took her to the country to a hog killing, and I mean, I must have. She never slept and thought I was crazy, and it was definitely not something. Took all the kids to watch a hog killing. They thought I was sick. But talk about your family a little bit. Talk about that relationship with mom and other members of your family and how that plays a part in your the way you came up with the idea of making sweets and certain sweets that they may like as well.
All right. Well, I always start off because like I wear her proud on my sleeve, every day, all day. It's my grandma, Maybelle Cunningham, my mom's mom. Um, so she originally was a cake decorator. So she did like wedding cakes and birthday cakes and she was the baker of the family. Everybody came to her for her cake specifically, like all over like St. Louis. Like people would call her or ask her to ship her cakes through the mail, like trying to get it somehow somewhere. So that's where the history of that started. And then eventually I started forming my own thing. My mom, when we went to Alaska, unfortunately my parents separated when I was 12 years old, which led to us heading up to Alaska. And then for like 2 years we were like roughing it in the top of a mountain. Kind of, not really, but it was like out in Fox, up in a mountain, and like there was animals and snow and woods. all around us. It was beautiful. Trust me. I will let you know to the day I die. That will never be a memory that I can forget. And at the Tanana Valley Market, while we were up there, that's where I started, Unicorn Bakery. Originally, it was Lottie and Lauren's Picks. Lottie being my sister, she's 1 year older than I am, and she's a scientist. She works in a lab right now, but she's also a photographer, a wildlife photographer, and her specialty is insects. So she likes to do that. So that's how it all started. Her doing her photos and selling those, and then me on the baking side. But at that time, I was also doing artwork. So I was like doing wood burnings and paintings, and I had jewelry line. I did a few tie dyes, so like clothes, and I was doing a little bit of everything, and then that was all on top of my baking, and then you know eventually people started hearing about us. We started doing modeling shows and art shows, and we became really well known in Alaska, in the city of Fairbanks. So when we say we recently in 2024 got to go back during the 4th of July, we were able to see some of those familiar faces that we saw like all those years ago, back in like 2012. So, and they still remember me and they still remember them, and they have all my artwork signed and everything. So it makes me really happy that, I can leave an impact even in the smallest way, even when I'm at like the youngest age. So I really think that's beautiful. And yeah, like the history with my dad, like, I mean, that's culinary through and through. Like I said, the last time, like he said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be serious about it, and like if I really want to do it, like with a passion and make it, a career, then I'm gonna have to put in a lot of work, and it's gonna take a lot of energy and like a lot of money. Like he told me the realness and the background of things, like even at a young age, he was like, it's not gonna be easy. Like I'm doing this over here and also working my job. So like you gotta recognize the career life balance, and if you also want a family on top of that, you gotta understand like how to carry all that and make sure everybody's good at the same time, keeping the business afloat, and all the things that come along with it. So that was on that side of things. And then with my mom, she was like more the hands-on, rather than talk. She would be there with me in my booth because I wasn't really a talker. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I was a very shy thing. I did not like to, come out of my shell. I just like to be in my corner and I'm good. Like, I'll let you do your thing. And, that was that. And eventually, I think about high school, I started to come out of my shell and, start to talk to people, make friends, get into different things like the dancing and marching band and color guard. And, it just led to so many different avenues that I can't believe I was able to be taken on, because I was able to come out of my shell. So I'm happy that my mom was able to give me a little nudge, out there to be able to, eventually spread my wings. So, yeah, I think that's the
Yeah,
majority of
that's
it.
all of this. I mean, that's a great, your parents and your family and all of that as far as building that entrepreneur spirit in you.
Hmm.
I was going to ask you a little bit about your art. Can you talk a little bit about art? Are you still doing art? What type of art do you do? Is it painting or explain that a little bit?
All right, so like, it's honestly any form of art I'll do. So like dancing of like bachata, merengue, folklorico, chapanecas. I also do uh what was it, tap on occasion. I do hip hop, pop, and African. I also do samba on occasion, and like I'll just whatever I'm feeling, that's what I'm gonna go to. And then for the artwork, it'll be yeah, the wood burnings, the painting, um, drawing. I really like sketching and working with colored pencils. That's my highest thing. But like I will go to crayons or like markers, or like I'll just have my tablet and I'll just be doing the color by numbers on there when I just want to blank my mind. But as of right now, I'm just doing diamond by numbers, which is like a big giant sheet, and it's like sticky, and it has like all these like little tiny keys on them, and like it comes with a large pack of like different colored rhinestone diamonds looking things. And like you use this thing and you go piece by piece, into in the individual spot. And that's what I've been on of the late. I've done like probably 20 in the last couple months. So yeah. And then I also do tie dye, or it's a bunch of things. Hair, nails,
Wow,
makeup.
that's got to be fun. That's got to be fun. Time consuming at the same time. I'm gonna ask this last question. We'll pass it over to Razak. So tell me, what um, about business? What have you learned, or how did you start your business? So be a little practical about. Did you go down and get a business license? What was your process when you went to start your business?
So originally, well, I was working with a family friend slash mentor named Summerfields, is my mom's friend. He started his own business for veterans who were just coming out of the military and were dealing with PTSD. So he was telling me all the things that he had to do to start his business, because I wasn't really sure at the time. Maybe a year or maybe two ago, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it a career officially, because like I do it here and there, like a farmer's market or a different kind of event, but like I wasn't like serious about it. I wasn't keeping track of you know what I was selling, or like my purchases, or my say like my shipping and everything like that. I wasn't keeping track of it. But like once I started getting serious about it, that's when I was like, okay, let me keep it in the books. And then eventually, when I get the right machines, like they'll do it for me, and then it'll input all my system. And then I worked with my mom on getting all of my licenses and my permits and everything like that. So like when she has time during her day, we sit down. And we go on the computer and we just work together real quick, get it done, and then like she goes back to work, and then I go back to the kitchen sometimes. So that's just we kind of we squeeze it in when we can. But like most of the time, when it comes to like logos or anything that has to deal with like a little bit more details, like I would be up in my room or in the office, and I'll be on my computer like from 10 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. So it's like I'll just kind of zone out and do what I need to do and get it done, and then I'm off on another adventure, doing another task that I need to finish. So there's always something that I'm doing, or that I need to complete, or that I'm in the process of completing. So I always got a lot going on.
All right, so when you was talking about Alaska and all that stuff, I was thinking about that show, Life Below Zero. You ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that how it was for you out there? Like
Actually, the show Ice Road Truckers, that like they drive on the same road that you have to like there's like this little peel off like up a hill on that same road that they drive towards the tundra to. And we lived up this hill on like probably like maybe the fourth or fifth ring around the hilltop slash mountaintop. It's like it was a high elevation. Let me just say that. So we could see over, but like you couldn't see anything because there was a bunch of trees. So like you would either see animals, or majority of the time you just see snow and footsteps everywhere. So it was a really cool thing to experience, because we had a lot of animals that lived in our yard before we even got there. So like we had two moose in our front yard, and like she came back habitually to have her babies in the front yard. And then we had a fox under the back porch, a lynx at the top of the driveway. There was a pack of wolves that lived maybe like a block or so up from the house. There was a bear down the street. Like the reindeer come around all the time, So like there's animals like almost always around you. It was awesome, and owls too. Yeah.
I would think that you was a hunter or something, or you know what I mean. There's all that going on around you.
I ain't no hunter. No, I'll go and they're my friends. I'll go and pet them, feed them, make sure they're good in the wild. But no, I won't kill them for fun. It's not my thing.
Okay. Just wondering, because I know you said you couldn't take the hacking up of
Yeah.
and cooking the live animals, so that probably you didn't see that as a teen out there
Yeah,
in the snow
you
right
know how
there.
there's hunters and foragers, and then there's cooks and mothers. I think I'll be on the cook side. Have it, torn and stuff for me already, and then I'll cook that.
I heard that. So you said that you also do what, hair and nails? Is that something that you kind of do on the side, or is that just something you're able to do?
Oh,
That
it's just something I'm able to do. I do it on my own, for like a self health, self love type of thing. If I look good, I feel good type of thing. So, I love colors, and the most that I express myself, or like the best way that I express myself, is through my hair. So, like underneath this, I have locks. So, that's my natural hair. So, it's like down to here. So I'll take this down, and I'll go locks, or sometimes I'll want something different, so I'll put some color in it, or I'll do a different style. I'll braid it up, you know or twist it up, interlock it, just do whatever I want with it, honestly. And then I don't technically do nails, but I can if I wanted to, but because like I originally have long nails, but I like to keep them clean, and like I always wash my hands, so, and I wear gloves if I need to, if I have like cuts or sores or anything. um but yeah, I like to have my natural long nails most of the time, and I don't like to paint them because I just don't want to chance it with it, the chipping off and falling into my food and stuff. So I don't, I just kind of stay away from painting my nails most of the time, unless I have like a serious event that I'm going to and I want to have my nails done originally. I just keep them plain and long.
Mhm. Okay. And I wanted to too also to ask you about, okay, so this thing about the unicorn and magic and stuff. Can we dive in a little bit further of where you got
The show.
yeah
Yeah.
where you got the ideology of that, and what specific energies and things do you see when either in life or while you're creating, or do you incorporate that energy and that magic that you feel into your food?
All right. So, I'm not 100% sure on it yet, but I've like heard it in the grapevine of my family that we have a shaman bloodline. So, it's a shaman is a Native American medicine worker or medicine woman, basically like a healer, or the person that you would go to for herbal medicine. So herbs such as like thyme or sage, or even ginger or turmeric, or different herbs have different properties and different things that they're used for, depending on what ailment that you have in the body. There's also things for like blood thinning and like pregnancy, and then like so it just depends on what you need and where you're coming from. So I've been doing some once I learned about the bloodline, it made so much sense, and like everything started clicking almost. And I kind of took my own path, and went down the spirituality way. Like I don't see it as dark or evil. There is good and light, and bad and dark in everything, just like the yin and yang energy. You have like white and black. There's not just one. So I'd like to think that I'm in the, light magic, healing magic. Um, I just want to make people be able to feel better about themselves, because every day, all day, you always see anyone, you're walking down the street and they look so sad, or like they're going through something. And like, if I'm able to, even just for a moment, give somebody like a sense of relaxation or a smile on their face, I've done my job. I'm happy, like, it's one of the best feelings in the world when I'm able to like encounter one of my customers. Even today when I was selling my product, like, I had so many happy faces and people coming back saying that it was good, and they had smiles on their faces, and they were laughing, and they were running, and they had energy. So it was like, it's that energy is intoxicating, and like, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it, but like, I love it, and I will continue to keep going back towards it, because I'll like, it's just something, you know, that sparks my own fire, like, whatever sparks your fire, sparks your fire. But this is me, and this is what I like. So yeah, that's sprinkle a little magic here and there.
It's a little magic here. Yeah, okay. Man, where are you next to? Because we heard fire engines and stuff. Now you got a
Oh,
plane.
is it loud? I'm so sorry. We're in the city. We're in near LA. I'm in Torrance, California.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, huh?
Oh, should I go inside?
Oh, I didn't know you was outside. You're outside?
Yeah, I'm like in the backyard. There's a lot of people in the
No,
house.
no, that's fine. I mean, wherever you're comfortable at. I was just like, man, what's going on over there?
Yeah, it's a busy street.
109. What Taurus goes up to all these numbers, huh? 190 something street.
Yeah, it's something like one of those, like 3,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to school in Torrance. When they used to have the ITT Techs out there before it.
Yeah, there's a lot of colleges around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so okay, with all that magical stuff in the bloodline. Okay, how do you incorporate innovation and experimentation into your cooking or menu development while still staying true to the traditional flavors and techniques? Because and I'm trying to make this questions because you was doing a chef thing, so.
Mhm.
After learning how I guess you chefs usually have to do certain things a certain kind of way when you're learning, and now you're taking that and now you're doing your own thing. So how do you incorporate all that together?
So it was a little hard for the transition between like school baking and then like baking on your own, because like while I was in school, you had to sweep the floor like 3 times a day, and like make sure the counters were pristine, and make sure your environment was you had like barely anything on it. So like, with the ability to have like all my ingredients in front of me, like what I need for that specific recipe, to have it in front of me while I'm measuring stuff out, instead of going back one at a time, getting everything, measuring it one at a time to make sure my environment stays clean. Like, it does make me a lot faster, and it helps me, I guess you could say, like, focus, because like I know that everything that I need is going into the product, so the product will eventually come out correct, and there won't be any flaws, unless I see one myself that I don't like. But other people who aren't in the industry, they won't really notice it or care, probably. But me being the baker and the creator behind most things, like I'm gonna know, and it'll bug me, but hey, it's okay. But as for the incorporation of things, I'd say that it's just my day to day. like say like I'm scrolling on TikTok, or like, I'll go on Instagram, or mom sends me something, or I'll just see something passing by down the street and an idea will pop into my head. Like, I'll just go ahead and write it down real quick, or put it in my notes in my phone, because I have a whole folder dedicated to all different kinds of ideas, like for all throughout the year, for like fall and Christmas and Easter, and just whatever kind of time of the year. So like I just have a whole bunch of different kinds of creations, and when I have time, or it's time to come out with something new, I'll just go right back to that list and pull something out that I'm like, this will fit nicely, and then I go ahead and make it, and usually comes out great. And then the next couple of times that I'm making it, I'm just continuing to improve upon it, with like adding different kinds of spices, or different kinds of like extracts and flavorings. Like, I was fortunate enough, my mom went to St. Louis recently. She was able to come back with like a box of a whole bunch of different extracts. So it was like vanilla extract, butter extract, maple. There was apple in there, and there's like a whole bunch of different kinds. And like she also came back with a huckleberry syrup, which I just used the other day while I was making a scone. It's a strawberry cranberry scone with the huckleberry drizzle. So, you know, so it's those kind of things that, it just piques my interest. And I'm trying to find the things that you won't usually see in every single bakery. I'm trying to be different, be unique, be innovative, bring something to like shake things up, something just different,
Right, right. I'm glad. I'm glad you just said that, because I was going to ask you this next, and that kind of like right aligns with this. Okay, so what is your opinion on the use of food as a means of a cultural exchange and understanding, and how do you approach it in your work?
So as for um I'm not really sure, because like, coming from Hawaii, being a melting pot, like there's already so many cultures incorporated inside of me. So I think it kind of just reflects through my baking process already, because like, I was raised around Filipino, because half my family is Filipino. And then you know, I had a bunch of local Hawaiian friends, and then there was also I had a bunch of you know, Chinese or Filipino, sorry, I already said Filipino, Chinese or Japanese or Vietnamese friends from the island as well. So it's like, you know, I just already incorporated in there. And then I was, doing the Hispanic stuff. And then I also did French in school. So that also piqued my interest. And then I started learning German and Russian. So then that got incorporated into everything. So it's just literally whatever I see, whatever is piquing my interest, whatever comes across my path, I'll take some of that, and then like I'll kind of, you know, change it into something else and make it into my own, and like add my own flavorings to it. So, nobody could say I stole it, because it's truly my own now.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's good. Is there any dishes that you have made that come to mind that will reflect in those mixture of ingredients that you just mentioned, or those mentions of cultures?
Mm, well, I have a few that I might come out with. Like I have a Hawaiian dish, pani popo, which is like a sweet roll and like a coconut milk type of thing. And then I also have I'm trying it out. I haven't done it yet, but it's like this strawberry coconut cream ball. Um it's kind of I think it's a vegan dish, I want to say. Um, and that has the coconut in it. And then I have a few other things that incorporate, different things from different ethnicities. Like I have a German chocolate cake. I'll do like, my French pastries, like puff pastry. And so like I'm always, dibbling and dabbling, grabbing from other cultures. The one that I haven't done yet is India, and I'm very curious about that one, because like they have very exotic and rich flavors, and I have yet to incorporate that, and I really do want to, especially with the colors as well. So I really like that.
Okay, okay, because we know it's things got to be colorful for you right there.
Yes,
Pastries and stuff. That's always appealing right there. Is the way it looks. But
yes.
we're
People eat with
gonna
their eyes. That's what I first learned.
eat with your eyes, right? Okay, so okay, it's funny that you just mentioned that the plant. Well, this is the question. I guess I don't know if that was totally your answer, but what is your opinion on the use of plant-based ingredients and veganism in the food industry, and how do you incorporate it in your cooking?
By plant based, do you mean actual plants or marijuana? Because there's a difference. I work with
It's-
both.
you can answer it. However you interpret the question is how you answer it. But if you do both, then you can answer with both.
Okay, okay. So as for the regular side of things, I'll it just depends on the type of product that I'm doing. Like, say for it's a secret, but say for my, chocolate chip cookies, right? Um, Everybody usually just adds like a pinch of cinnamon and that's it. But like I'll do like cinnamon or nutmeg or clove, or say like I'll take a pumpkin muffin and I'll do like ginger or mace, or as well as clove and nutmeg, cinnamon, blah 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 blah. Like, so it just depends on which product I'm working with, and like that's where that I think that little magic starts to kick in, because you got to know what you're doing. You got to know how tastes are supposed to blend so they can blend well with each other and not overpower one or the other, or like you don't taste it, so like all you're tasting is like butter and sugar, or so it's like it's just the matter of playing around in the kitchen with different kinds of products and different kinds of flavors, and just all that stuff. But like as for the other side of things, marijuana wise, um I do work with that as well, and it's kind of like the same process of with my regular products, because my whole shtick is that whatever I make in my regular side, I can also do on my infused side. So, say you want like a red velvet cupcake. I've done those before. So, like, I'll infuse the cupcake and then I'll also infuse the frosting. But that's up to you. A lot of people don't like the frosting. So, well, they like the frosting that I make, but like they don't like the taste of frosting. Um, so, usually they won't have the frosting on it, they'll just have the cake. Or they'll do something like the cookies or the brownies or the Rice Krispie treats, which are really, really popular because for some reason they're just like super duper strong and they get you messed up. A lot of people don't like to listen though, so I got a lot of stories on like, people coming back and saying, dude, I was like messed up. You hear? Like I had my shirt off, I was running around and just stuff like that is really funny.
I hear that. I hear you. A question comes to mind about on that too, and specifically that is there a difference in how should I say the licensing or the selling when you infuse these different pastries?
So the licensing isn't different, I don't believe. As far as I know and what we've been working with, like it has not been different. Um, but that's for like the cottage kitchen, I believe. But if it were to be like I was doing like on the spot and like, selling weed, you know, recreationally type of thing, then I think it would require a different permit. But since I'm incorporating it in food, I believe it changes things up a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
But
All right.
that's as far as I know. Like that's I haven't heard anything different. I haven't seen anything different. So I could be wrong though.
No. Well, it's just all I was wondering because they have I think that's like a different market to get your pastries into is edibles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's like a whole different thing aside from just making pastries and going to the events
Hmm.
versus trying to get them in uh, dispensary shops or something like that. That would be a whole new probably step for you, or if maybe
Yeah.
or maybe not, if you was looking at getting into that. Okay, so can you share with us a food related mistake or failure during your now during your business, or cooking the business, coming up with something that you have experienced, and how did you learn from it and improve on it the next time around?
All right. So like the main thing that always is like it's like super tedious for some reason. Like sometimes it work and sometimes it doesn't. But like my butterscotch cookies, sometimes they'll like fall flat or sometimes they'll rise and they'll like be perfect little circles. They'll be nice and pretty. So it's you either get one side of the coin and like I think it had to do with my butter being either too uh too melted or too hard. So I had to play around with that and you know learn from my past mistakes basically and just continue improving each time I make it. So now when I make it, like it doesn't do that as much. Like maybe I'll get like one or two here and there because like the edges will not do what I want it to do, but for the majority of it, like I'll have the nice circle um, and uniformity throughout the cookies. So I think it just takes a little bit more practice and work, you know, um, to like perfect it and get it the way that you want it.
All right, all right, yeah, most definitely got to be sort of like a visionary, creative, imaginative in your line of work. Um,
Mm.
is there let me say a food related, like a tradition or a ritual that you have in your family or your personal life that has influenced your cooking, or I should say, not necessarily influenced your cooking. Like before you start cooking, and you go through some kind of you know ritual, or what I mean, something that you guys traditionally do. Do you bless the ingredients or something? I mean, something like that. Do you huddle up and give a speech before cooking? Like.
No, not really. Usually is how a regular baking day goes is, I wake up from, being up in the middle of the night all night and I come down to the kitchen and, I'll bring my big old bins inside and then I'll put up my mixer, my stand mixer. I just got my first KitchenAid this year, so I was really happy about that. And I was able to get two more on top of that. So that was a plus. It was a good year for that. And then I said after I'm done setting those up, then I, fill up the rest of the counter with, all the ingredients and tools that I'll need. Um, and then I put on my apron, bring out my cookbook, and then I'll just go ahead and jump into it after like putting on a movie or listening to music. It depends on what mood I'm in.
Okay, okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. I'm gonna pass it along to Keith and see what he has for you. I know he's
All right, all
thinking of
right.
some things.
Oh my God, man! I can't believe all the stuff you getting out of her, man. She is an entrepreneur spirit right there, man. With all of the different products she's doing, she's staying up all night. She's singing, she's making music, she's doing art. I don't know what else she's coloring her hair and doing nails. And man, what else is up with this girl, man? She's got so much going on. But let me ask you this though. Can you talk a little bit about business for people your age? People that are your age, are young and out there trying to establish a business. What's some of the things that you can say to them to get them off the couch and experience their love and magic?
All right. So I would have to say to them, it's going to hurt in certain areas because you're going to have to push yourself. Because if you can't motivate yourself to get up and go get what you need done to get done, then it's not going to get done because nobody else is going to be doing it for you. Nobody's going to hold your hand every step of the way. No, it, the people that do have that are very lucky and fortunate. But majority of the time, you gotta do it on your own. You gotta pick yourself up on those days that you just, either you're feeling lazy or you're just having a bad day and things aren't going well and everything is like going wrong. Like, all your pockets are getting stuck on a doorknob or you're stubbing your toe. Like, even on those days, you gotta still get up and at least get one thing done. If you can accomplish one thing out of your entire day, I think that day has been successful. Because even if you didn't finish or complete the whole task, at least you got a part of it done to get you started. So the next time you come back to it, it's not as, hard to get into it. But I'll also say that if you're able to find something like that you truly love, like the saying, if you're doing something you love, it's no longer work, or something like that. If you do what you love, is no longer work or something. So it follows along those lines. Like, truly, if you love what you're doing and you find your niche, and you know you're good at it, and other people notice that you're also good at it, like, try and find a piece that will pique your interest and run with it. Like, don't let it hold you back. Like, if you can start either selling on the side of the street, like just a pop up real quick thing, or you can like start online, or you can, like me, start at markets and like just work your way up from there. Because eventually you'll start making enough money to, run a truck or run your own business, like in a building, or you'll just have your own storefront, in any way possible. And I think that that would be the best thing, you know, to carry out for anyone going through their own journey of, entrepreneurship. So yeah, I think that's it.
My mute button was sticking, but I'm telling you this, that is the way it should be said. Someone that actually is trying to tell people to follow your dreams, and it's not going to be easy. That doesn't mean that you need to stop following where you're
Hmm.
trying to go. And that's a very powerful statement from someone like yourself. And I'm sure our audience really would appreciate that. Let me talk to you a little bit about making something and someone doesn't like it. I mean, you done baked this dish, you done went in there and stayed up all night, looks pretty, and then you get out there and you sell it to somebody saying, "Ooh, I don't know about this one, girl." Whatever. Have you had that? Or what type of experience you can talk about that?
Ooh, I can't tell you how many times I've had that. Cause like it's a very disappointing and disheartening feeling, but like I just said, like you just gotta kind of suck it up and kind of try to take it as constructive criticism. Because like, even if they come at you sideways and you want to do something to them or say something back, you can't, because you got to be professional. But besides that, I made like vegan Oreos. Like, I stayed up and like I made individual, Oreo cookies, and then I made the cream by hand. So like, and I like piped it on, and like I made it all nice and everything, and I did the powdered sugar over it, and did the stamp and all. Like, no one, when I made it, and I mean no one got it, and they were asking for vegan products, and I was like, bruh. And then I tried another one that was a oatmeal carrot cookie. So it was like a breakfast cookie. Also, I think this one was gluten free, and I used like oat flour, um, and like maple syrup and some other concoctions to get it to stick and solidify together. Um, but only like one person got that, and they liked it. But I can't just tell to only one person when I'm trying to, you know, have an abundance of different kinds of products. I gotta have a lot, so multiple people are able to try it. But I only got one person trying it, then it's probably not gonna come back, and I'm probably gonna take it back to the kitchen and keep working on it until I come up with something different, or I change it enough to you know that I like it now, and I'll put it back out there. But unfortunately, that's just how things go in this industry.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm doing all that work and then putting it out there. Somebody just give it back to you. And basically, you got to figure out where it goes from there. Let me ask you, because along this
Mhm.
line, is that you know, you have a special oven? Are you using timers? All of these different devices to make sure the cake's coming out on time? Or did you have to go to Home Depot and get you, a certain type of oven that, like air oven, something that's a
Oh
bake,
no.
or and have you burned anything lately?
So no, we don't use anything special. We just have the oven that the house came with, and then, I work around it, and I have my own tools that I've gathered over the years of me baking. So, eventually it's accumulated and I have a lot of toys. So, it does make things easier and a little bit more efficient in the kitchen. So I do get done a lot faster and I get a lot more products out, which I'm very happy for. Which also ties in with the school thing. They help me get faster as well because I used to be really, really slow in the kitchen. Like some chocolate chip cookies, I would be on it for 3 hours instead of like 30 minutes, So it like the tools that I have, they do help. And then like, that's all. Yeah. Was I missing something? I think I missed the question.
That's all right. That's all right because I'm sure you burned something, so I'm not going
Oh,
to even have to ask you that again.
yeah, I burned a few things. Like I don't know what it is, but ever since I started baking, like even when I was working at the Tanana market, um, for some reason, every time I would start baking, I would burn two batches, or no, not two batches, like two sheets of cookies. I don't know why, but every time I bake, I burn one thing, and it's just like I don't know how I can change that. I think it, like my mom said the last time, when I start getting tired, I start, forgetting that the timer went off or something, or like I didn't hear it, or I'm doing something else, so like my back is turned and like, I'm just tuning it out. I don't know. But every time I'm baking, like I burn one thing, like the other day, I burned a batch of cookies. I burned a batch of chocolate chip cookies. So, but when I burn something, the house gets it. So it wasn't burnt bad. It was just too crispy for my liking. You can eat it with milk and it'll still be okay. Like my little like stepbrother to be, I guess, my mom's boyfriend's son, he likes to eat the cookies. So they're still good. They're still edible. They're just a little dark.
I can see that happening because sometimes you put something in the oven when you're baking it, and then you take it out. Okay, that's good. Then you put something else in the oven, not realizing that the oven is actually already at a high temperature already, and you're putting the timer on for the normal time, and realize,
Mhm.
wow, it's already starting off at a high temperature. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's
And
always
it's
different. So at those last minutes, you just gotta watch it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You just gotta watch it. Let me ask you this about the sweets, and you being from Hawaii and having that experience, and Alaska and all that. What's Hawaii's, um, go-to sweet? What is their cake like? I know they have, like Louisiana have the, we have a special cake, and I'm just wondering what Hawaii has.
I'm not sure what like the state one would be, but I know that as for the desserts on island, to the go-to malasadas. Every single time, I would die for it. I would put my heart on that. Malasadas are amazing. If you ever go to Hawaii, Leonard's malasadas. You hear Leonard's malasadas? They're the best thing on earth. I swear to you. Um, so there's that, and then on the other side of things, for cake wise, I like guava cake because like it's like this pink cake, and then it's like it has like whipped, like stabilized whipped cream frosting, and then like this like a guava jelly that sits inside of the the whipped cream frosting, and it's phenomenal. But a lot of people say they would like halpia, which is coconut, which is they do like a coconut cream, and then like they'll do like I think it's a yellow cake, I believe, a yellow or a white cake. And then it also has like some whipped cream and some coconut and some other things that go along with it. So,
Wow, man. I would ask you, you know, why you love that cake so much, but you explained it already, man. That's got to be good because
it's
I'm a lemon
phenomenal.
cake, carrot cake, lemon cake guy. When's your next event? What do you got coming up? Can you talk a little bit about your events that's coming up and things like that?
Yeah. What we have coming up during October, we actually have a lot of things coming up this October. Um, so we have next the BRC event, Black Riverside County. Um, I'm pretty sure it's going to be up in Lake Elsinore. Uh, and then after that, we should be having a fall fair festival, which is like a trick or treat kind of night at like a school slash church. And they like do this, Halloween fest type of thing. They go to different booths and like sell products, or they'll do like things like a carnival, or they'll have a few rides, and booths will give out candy, and like they'll just things like that, like a market slash fair type of thing. And then we also have a Sun City Market. That's a regular farmers market that comes up in the last week of October as well. So got a few things happening.
Wow, it sure seems like you're going to be busy for this month, and I sure would like to be able to catch you at one of those. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Lauren Unicorn Bakery. Man, she is just a sweet girl with some sweet products. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back. Take a look at those products and have your mouth watering. Hold tight. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
So here we have the Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie Treats, the infused Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie Treats. So this one is a indica dominant strain, but it's a hybrid strain, and they're very strong. I'm gonna tell you that. So the best thing to do is only eat half, and then if you still don't feel anything after the half, then eat a quarter more. Do not eat the whole thing. Everybody always does not listen and eats the whole thing and ends up messed up. So just pace yourself, know yourself. And then the rest of these, they're just showing the different forms of the Rice Krispie treats that I have. So you can get them in the square, or you can get them in a little baggie, cut into little like smaller squares, bite-sized pieces. So it's up to you how you want them.
Okay, and when making these, does the marshmallows have it too? Is the whole entire thing infused?
So the marshmallow that's inside that binds it all together,
Mm-hmm.
basically that's what has the all the gooey goodness inside of it. The marshmallows on top, no, they don't have any, but they add like kind of like a bite, like a nice bite to the Rice Krispie treat. So it's like you're still getting the infused marshmallow, but you're also getting normal marshmallow that kind of like balances it out, and you're not like it's not overpowering, or you just taste all the you know butter basically. But I add vanilla and other stuff to my Rice Krispie treats to enhance the flavor, so it's not like you're just getting a whole bite of nasty weed. So it tastes good. It's my best seller that I have, and everybody likes it besides the chocolate chip cookies. And then that's the box that I ship all the way across the United States so far. I go as far as St. Louis and Georgia right now, and then all the way up to Alaska. So that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Okay.
And here we are at a market. I'm just showing you the table of everything that we had. This is all the regular products, and eventually we'll move over to one side of the tent, and you'll see all the infused products that I have. And I carry chocolate chip cookies, I carry oatmeal raisin cookies, I carry some more fruity pebble rice crispy treats, and then I also do 3 levels of infused popsicles, which is the lowest flavor banana, medium, which is cotton candy, and high is strawberry. So you get to choose how how much you want your high. And then how the popsicle works is that you have the whole pouch and you freeze it, and then you eat all the ice out of it, and there's going to be some leftover syrup at the bottom, like probably about like that much or so you can refill it back up with some water and refreeze it, and it'll give you another infused popsicle, so it gives you like a 2-in-1 type of deal. So I kind of like how that works. And here is just showing you that I can do different kinds of cakes, and the different kinds of cakes that I do, and if you want it in different tiers and like the prices for that. So yeah, like I says, I do red velvet or marble or caramel, yellow, chocolate, but then I'll also do like specialty cakes like carrot, or you'll get the Oreo, or um you get like a mocha chocolate. It's just depending on what you want, what you're asking for, and like my base prices are like starting out at $40, and then it increases as the more tiers you go. It's about $20 a tier or so, because of the work that goes in, and then all the designs and quality, and you know uh, the product itself, like it's all natural products. So all that's going into it, and eventually it'll come out, and then you'll have an infused cake.
Get you.
This is some of the
Brownies.
baking processes in the beginning when I was first starting it out. These are the chocolate chip cookies. I had rolled them out and like put them on the tray, just little tiny pucks, and eventually they'll spread out into the regular cookies, and just let them cool off. But I like to let them cool off under a fan because they're seriously strong and aromatic after they're done baking. So
Man. Okay, now is this another um, recipe that's being passed down that somebody's in the family doing, or is this just all you just creating?
no, this one's all me. The only things really that have gotten passed down to me so far is my dad's buttercream, and my grandma Lottie, my dad's mom, her banana bread. So I call it Grandma Lottie's banana bread. So that's the 2 things that have gotten passed to me so far. Sadly, before I was able to start, this business, and started baking professionally, my grandma had passed away. My grandma Maybell had passed away, so she wasn't able to pass on any of her recipes to me. But I did uh we were able to get like this baby bear cake tin that she used like all the time, because it was a tradition in our family. For every baby's first birthday, they would get, for their smash cake, a tiny bear, and it was like the frosting was like its fur, and like it had a little bow tie, and like whatever the child was, like that's what color it would be or whatever. So that would be their cake that they get to destroy, instead of passing it out to everybody. So she passed that down to me, so eventually I've only made it like one time. So hopefully I get to make it another time after another child in our family is born. But the last one was my little niece Serenity. So
Oh, okay, keeping
and
the
then here's
keeping the
just
spirit
the
alive.
processes of me making butter. So this is the brown butter that I was doing for, I believe it was for some caramel that I was doing. So I was infusing the butter. Luckily now, my processes take a lot less time because I think I know what I'm doing just a little bit more now. Um,
Mhm.
so it doesn't look like this anymore. Like the regular butter itself, like on a few other pictures, uh, it showed that like the green transferring out of the weed itself into the butter, or like uh, um I think I might have a video somewhere of me mixing some of the butter and like squeezing it out of the cheesecloth and like transferring it into different dishes so that it can solidify and sit for longer. So like it's just depending. I just gotta go look through what I got.
Okay.
hmm Like I said, these were my beginning stages when I was first starting out. So it was a little messy.
Okay. All right. All right. So how do you come with the names of the stuff? Do you have names, or is it
So
just a
like
chocolate chip cookie?
my
It's,
peppermint mocha vanilla bean cupcake. That's one of my longer ones. So or the mocha chocolate, coffee cupcake. That's another one.
okay. Okay.
It
Yeah.
depends.
That's definitely some treats right there. You know what I mean? That's interesting right there, because out of all the other, now what, now I think I asked you this before, and then when we had talked to you before, is this a holistic approach? I think, is that the right word? Did I ask you that before? Is that a
It,
how is
it
this?
I guess it can tie into it. Because of the herbal side of it, I guess. Or the medicine side of it, because if somebody is coming to me personally and they have like an ailment that they need help with, like I'll like recommend like one of my products to them that could help with, say ginger. It could help with indigestion and like your stomach problems. Or like I'll do a pumpkin muffin which could be used for like blood thinners, or sorry, your heart and your blood pressure. So it's just different products will do different things because different herbs do different things. So it's literally what you're asking for. Like I'll personally, if you need something like specialty made, like I'll work with you and I'll sit down with you over the phone or something, or in person, and we'll talk it through, see what you need, and I'll go ahead and go in the kitchen and I'll make it up for you, and then I'll hand it off to you, and you just let me know if you feel better. And if you don't, then we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll try something else out that that might work. But so far I've only had like maybe 2 or 3 patients that were for medical reasons, but it was majorities for sleep. So I recommended, they did smoke originally, so I recommended my medical grade edibles, which are a lower dose, but they have like uh, more surface area. So like you can eat more of it, but it'll help you sleep, like go to sleep and stay asleep. Like depending on the strain that I'm using and the different, ingredients in that product that I'll be using as well. So like, it's a whole bunch of science and math that ties into it. And like, I like to do my homework on occasion. So, I'll like, that's one of the things that I do. Like I like to be able to help people as much as I can. And I use this ability to the best of my ability. So I'm just happy. Try to be happy.
Let's see what this is about. Where are you at right here?
That was the frat games. So, my mom's boyfriend John, he's in a fraternity. Um, I think it's like Phi Beta Sigma. I think that's the one. It's like blue and white. So like he was like going originally, and then eventually we started coming along with him, and then we started selling at one of them because like his friends was like they need somebody to like start selling something there because they didn't have food at those events. So once we started like talking to people and like incorporating ourselves into what they do every week, then we started coming and becoming frequent. And then as people started knowing us, and then more people started showing up, and more people started coming, and we got more surface area and like some more followers. So And that's how we eventually started getting more places that, called us, asking us to be there instead of us asking them to be there. So I was really happy about that. It was a great exposure, and it was like an exposure to a different lifestyle that I originally wasn't, you know, born into, I guess you could say, because most people in this lifestyle are previously born into it, or they know more about it before they hop into it.
They didn't have the fraternities at the college you went to.
They had a sorority, um, but it was very preppy, so I don't think it meshed well with me. So I stuck with the captains and the I don't know what they're called, but the higher up people, they also did a dance class or a dance club that we did in Johnson and Wales University. We were one of the first dance teams in Johnson and Wales University. Go us. And luckily we were able to do some of the things that the sorority was doing, because like they like tied it in with us a little bit. So like if they were doing community service, we had the option to be able to go, or say they were doing like stuff with the food drive or doing like different events on campus, like for the school, like for a celebratory thing, or like, a pep rally type of thing. Like we would also go there and help, like for the basketball games or like the soccer games or lacrosse games. Like we would go and we would, perform, do like a halftime thing, and do that. So I only got like a little bit of exposure for that, but it was interesting. So here, it's another market. I think this is the Menifee Market in Sun City. Yeah. So I don't know if they're doing this one anymore, because I recently heard that they had shut down. But I'll be posting on my site if we end up going there again. Um, so hopefully we do get to, because they had some really great people there. Uh, but as far as that, it was mostly just your main regular products that I had, like the chocolate chip cookies, or the oatmeal raisin. But usually these kind of markets I use to like get rid of the rest of the product that I had from a big event. Like say like I was doing an event with like 3,000 people, right? So I had all that product, and then I sold whatever I sold on that day, and then like whatever I had left over, I'll go to a smaller market that still has some good foot traffic, but not a lot of people know about it, I guess. I would go there and just sell the rest of my products, and then that's how I would be able to get rid of the waste. So it would no longer be waste. It wouldn't be considered as waste, because it would be kind of recycled. But it would like be on the same week, so it wouldn't be like I'm waiting like a whole month in between trying to sell the same product. No, it's not like that at all. It's just you'll be able to keep using the product that is still good and it still has good quality, because if you work on good packaging, then you no longer have to worry about things spoiling or going bad on you. And if you keep it refrigerated, or you hold it in the right temperatures, you also have that ability to keep your product for longer as well. So I do like that. Right here is the blueberry muffins, though. Those are awesome. They're purple. So not a lot of people do their blueberry muffins like that. Usually it's like a white or a yellow cake or a muffin, and like they'll add the blueberries to it. But I've never seen anybody puree blueberries and incorporate that into their muffins. So I like that.
Very good.
Yeah, I do most of my own videos. Like a select few of my videos were done by my cousin Kavana. Um, but she no longer works with us because she moved to St. Louis. Um, but yeah, most of the videos and the photos that you see on both my pages, or all of my pages, are done by me. And like I edit and crop and put the music to him and everything. So that's all me.
Okay.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty.
So on there, I had some. Those are cheesecake swirl brownies, and I had some strawberry shortcake cupcakes that I was doing, and then I also had some mocha chocolate cupcakes on there, and then I had some peach roses, which is basically like a puff paste. What's basically, a lot of people say that it's a portable peach cobbler because it's a puff pastry with peaches rolled into it and peach jam inside and on top of it. So, and then it has like some powdered sugar sprinkled over it. So yeah, got a lot of different things.
A lot of different things going on. Look at this. It's colorful.
Yeah, I was during my college days, so all that stuff that you see in the background is all the industrial, tools that we can use in the kitchen. All the big giant mixers, or like the different, alcohols and extracts that we would be using, or like the different kinds of ladles, different types of knives, different types of cutters, different, machines, like an ice cream machine, or they'll have like the sorbet soft serve machine, or you could do the sugaring process, and they have all the tools for sugars and confections. And then they have the cake class, so like you have like cake wheels everywhere, and like piping tools, and piping tips and piping bags, and parchment paper, giant things and giant rolls of stuff everywhere. So it was always really fun to go into a classroom because it was just all the toys are everywhere. Yeah, I was in college during this time making all this stuff. These were my cake classes, basically. So that was a wedding cake that we were doing.
And this is you making these things from scratch. I mean from ground up.
Yeah, we don't work with anything in a box at school. They won't let us. So yeah, it's all by hand. We start from.
So you ready for one of them cake war TV shows or something?
My sister wanted me to go on one of those, but when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of like confidence, and I didn't really like talking much. So like I didn't really want to do those things. But I don't know if I'll be able to do them now because like I'm busy. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So that was a sorbet, and then that was a lace cookie with I believe that was vanilla bean ice cream, and a cookie crumble. And caramel.
Pictures.
They look like cranberry snickerdoodles.
Says chewy, chewy cranberry snickerdoodles.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, everybody, man. If you didn't get your cup of milk, you better get a cup of milk now. That's all those delicious desserts, man, from the cookies to the cakes to all of the different types of designs that she make, and it just looks so like a lot of work goes into that. Man, I'm so proud of her for the things that she's doing. But man, we're back with Lauren Unicorn Bakery. I tell you, this is the best thing I've ever seen lately. I don't know about Razak. I know he drinks a lot of sweets, but I don't know if he eats a lot of sweets. But let's leave it up to him to ask the next few questions.
Can you tell us about a food-related project or initiative that you have been a part of?
As of right now, we've been trying to work with a few other like hot food places. We did talk to like a few barbecue pit places that were curious about some of our desserts, and we were going to do like a catering type of thing, or like a wholesale type of thing, where we would give them a certain amount of products, and they would go ahead and sell those, and then either they would pay for it up front so they wouldn't have to pay us back for it, and whatever they made from it, they make from it, or the option of where we would make the products, and we would give it to them, and then whatever profits they made, they would give it back to us at a certain percentage. So it just, we're working with different places right now. We're in the process of working with Magnificent Kitchen. We're talking about it, and we're trying to make a plan about it. So we'll see if everything falls through nicely. And I had like a few other places that asked about the same thing for wholesale wise in front of their restaurant, or sometimes we'll get like churches or church events, like the older women who stay after church, and they have their breakfasts and teas and whatever. Like I had a few women ask me about catering for some of those events as well. Or I had one lady who asked me about some kind of like high tea, to make like a charcuterie board of like all kinds of desserts, and like a cookie platter, and different tiers of stuff. So we have a lot of things in the works. We're just always we're always on the go. We're always doing something. Something's always being planned, and looking towards the future, to better our both our businesses, not just mine.
Right, right.
But a lot of work and love does go through to my products. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Can you tell us about a food-related superstition or belief that you have encountered in your career?
A superstition? Um, if you drop salt, throw it over your left shoulder. That's all I got. Or dust your hands with open hands if you have flour all over them, because it'll get most of the dust off. In my opinion, I haven't really heard any like. Oh, maybe this one. So when you're baking cake and it's a fluffier cake, and you've used like you whipped your egg whites and you've already like mixed them into your cake, while you're baking, make sure there's no loud noises or harsh vibrations that shake throughout the house, because it'll cause the cake to fall. So that might be one.
Okay.
I don't know though. I haven't heard that question before, so I don't really know how to answer it.
I will tell you a little secret. I baked 4 lemon loaf cakes, and it was. I looked at it; it was rising beautifully. But
Hmm.
my sister has this oven where if you knock on the door, the light comes on where you can see inside without opening it, right?
Yes.
What did I do? I knocked on the door and the light came on. And what did they do? They dropped like it was.
Oh.
I was so upset because they were. I put the lint. I mean, I did. And I knew they were rising beautifully. I knew they were going to come out good if I could just get through that. But when you
Well,
said
if you ever have that problem again, try out adding just a little bit extra baking powder, because it'll help with the stability of the rising. But don't add too much, because then it'll cause it to fall.
even if I knock on it, you say why I mixed it a little bit of more baking.
Yeah, while you're mixing, you add a little bit more baking powder, because during the baking process, it'll like kind of give it some more bubbles, so the rising will kind of stay there into its baking process.
I was
And
so
that's as far as I have encountered. Somebody else to say something different.
I
Yeah,
tried to take it to my mother, and she's like, "Boy, that don't even look right." I said, "But it's all messed up."
I
Yeah.
bet it was good though.
No, I mean, I couldn't do nothing with it. It went from 5 inches to 1 inch.
Did it,
Turkey
oh,
time
oh, ooh. What did you
with a big
do?
old dip. It was bad. It was bad. Sorry, Razak. I had to throw that in.
Yeah. No, no. I'm looking at some of these other questions I had down, and a lot of these are kind of like really, you during a general conversation, me, a lot of things you'll say, and you'll be, answering questions that we would have had asked you if you had not, you know, had your answer a certain kind of way. So I'm just looking at a lot of these. I don't want to keep like asking the same kind of question over again, but a lot of these I'm just looking at that I had that you already kind of answered really. But okay, so All right, let's go this route. So, you have just revealed that you can speak different languages there. Can we
Yeah,
go?
I wouldn't say that like I can speak them fluently, but I can, I'll get you a phrase here or a phrase there, or like, maybe you'll catch a sentence every now and again. But, for the most part, it's Spanish. I know the most Spanish, and then after Spanish is French, and then after French is maybe Hawaiian, and then it goes like and I know some phrases in Filipino, Chinese, Russian, German, and um missing something.
Pigeon.
Well, there we go. Yeah, pigeon.
What do you know about happy? Let me throw this in there, Razak. Do she know like happy words in those languages? I know there are words that would be simple to say about like enjoying, life or something. Something that doesn't make it hard. There's words that in each one of those languages that you can pose that would be just about being happy, kind of like you,
Well,
magic of you.
I don't know, but I can do the colors of the rainbow in Hawaiian if you would
Good for
like.
you.
All right, so for my Hawaiian people out there, sing along with me if you know. We're gonna see the colors of the rainbow because rainbows are important in Unicorn Bakery. They're in everything. They're in everything we sell. So it's ula ula mele mele poni polu u ele ele kala alani keo keo ahina hina omomo. So you got that. Hey, hey. So as for the new products coming out, we got a bunch of new products coming out. We got peanut butter cookies with Reese's peanut butters inside of it. We have different kinds of cakes that are coming out. We're coming back out with our fall and Christmas line with the gingerbread and the peppermint line, which is the peppermint sugar cookies or the peppermint cupcakes or the peppermint mocha cupcakes or the vanilla bean peppermint. So you got all these different types of things that you can choose from. And we also have the caramel cake coming back soon, as well as the 7-Up cake, since this is the season for it. Colors are changing in the leaves. So is the weather, and we might be selling some hot cocoa soon, as well as coffee. So stay tuned for that. And we also have our herbal teas that we still do, but the teas are changing throughout the year. So we might go and get some sassafras pretty soon. I'm excited for that. And we still have the cinnamon tea. We still have the blueberry tea. We still have huckleberry tea. We still have lemonade and apple cider and all that good stuff. So hope you guys can come down and try something out. And you can reach us at, uni.bakery for the Instagram, or my phone number, which is 808-721-0886. Or you can email us at unicornbakery22@gmail.com. And, or you can do the Facebook if you like Unicorn Bakery. It's up to you how you want to contact us. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, too late to say you want me now.